Good afternoon, Kitchissippi. It is Saturday, October the 11th. This is a video version of the 452nd Kitchissippi Weekly Ward newsletter. There is lots more information about all the topics that we'll discuss in the weekly email newsletter, to which you can subscribe at kitchissippiward.ca. I'm hosting my next pop-up office hours on October the 16th. We'll be hosting those from 9 a.m. until 11:15 a.m. at the Innovation Center at Bayview Yards. That's at 7 Bayview Road Station. A quick note, that is slightly different hours than what I advertised last week. We've had to shorten those because of another commitment that has come up. So I will be there from 9 a.m. until 11:15 a.m. Pop-ups are an opportunity to come by anytime during those hours and chat with me one-on-one about whatever is on your mind. The Committee of Adjustment is going to meet on October the 22nd. There is just one application on the agenda for our ward. This one is a application at 243 Belford to permit a front-facing garage, a driveway that is located between a front wall of a residential building and the street, and for an increased driveway width. That's all associated with a proposed two-story detached home at that location at 243 Belford. I have more information about that by following the link to the Committee of Adjustment agenda page included in the newsletter. I'm standing here this morning in the Berkeley Dominion Tay area, where on October the 20th there is going to be an open house that will be held at the Dovercourt Recreation Centre to take a look at the first plans for reconstructing the street. They're planning on doing a complete rebuild of Dominion, Tay and Berkeley in order to replace the infrastructure that is underneath. When they do a rebuild, they'll propose things like sidewalks, traffic calming measures. Take a first look at the plans on October the 20th from 5:30 until 7:30 p.m. at the Dovercourt Recreation Centre at 411 Dovercourt. That is a drop-in. Don't feel pressured to come by right at 5:30. Come on anytime during those 5:30 to 7:30 hours. I've got some more details about the project in the newsletter. And then finally, for city news, the city has partnered with EnviroCenter to offer a series of workshops. I'm co-hosting one on an extended how to extend your cycling season. So on October the 27th, I'm co-hosting a session from 6:30 until 7:30 p.m. Come by, listen to an expert, an experienced cyclist who cycles year-round, and get some tips and tricks for how to extend your cycling season now that the cooler weather has arrived. The goal of the workshop is to help riders discover opportunities to cycle year-round. I've got more information about how you can participate in that in the newsletter, and there is a link there. The Pumpkin Parade is once again going to happen. I'm very happy to be supporting that this year. On November the 1st, bring your jack-o'-lanterns to Byron Linear Tramway Park between Island Park Drive and Clarendon. Volunteers are going to put candles in those, light them up along the periphery of the path. It is absolutely delightful every year. Come on by anytime from 6 to 10 p.m. on November the 1st to see those pumpkins lit up. Bring your empty pumpkins by during the day. On Saturday, October the 18th from 12 until 4, Parkdale Market is becoming Barkdale Market for the first annual Hintonburg Halloween in support of local dog rescues. There's a shop, you can shop for treats for dogs and people, enjoy live music and crafts in the park, and enter the costume parade with your dog. I'm really pleased that the organizers have asked myself, our MPP Catherine McKenney, and Little Joe from Little Joe Berries to judge a dog contest. That's going to be a ton of fun. The Wickedly Westboro Scavenger Hunt is on now. The event is running from October the 10th, which is today, until the 31st. You have until October the 31st at midnight to find all 5 spooky buds, good morning, along the stretch in the Wellington Village BIA area. I've got a link for what to be looking for. And then the Westboro Village BIA is also hosting its annual trick-or-treating afternoon in the area merchants. That will be on Saturday, October the 25th from 1 until 4. You can find all of the details for both of these Wickedly Westboro events in the newsletter at the link that I've provided. All Saints United is hosting their bazaar on November the 15th. That will be at its location at 347 Richmond Road. It's hosting its village fair Saturday, November 15th from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. They have crafts, jams, one-of-a-kind treasures, children's secret shopping, henna tattoos, and more. I've got a link in the newsletter where you can find more information about that. And then I also wanted to ensure folks knew about the Catherine McKenna Run Like a Girl book launch that is being held in the Glebe on October the 16th from 7 until 8:30 p.m. You can hear Catherine talk about her experiences as an MP, what she learned about making change, doing hard things, and making it through the day. You do need a ticket to get into that, though the event is free. She'll be engaged in a conversation with Kitchissippi's own Joanne Chianello. Follow the link that is in the newsletter in order to obtain your ticket. There is a Mechanicsville tree planting that's being held between the Mechanicsville Community Association, Cafes, MP Yasser Naqvi, MPP Catherine McKenney, the Mechanicsville Community Association, and TD Friends of the Environment Foundation. I have information about how to take part in that. They are planting 50 trees just north of Tunney's pasture on Saturday, October the 18th from 2 until 4. Refreshments will be provided. You don't need any experience in order to take part. They will tell you how to plant the tree on the spot, just in between the Kitchissippi Mikan and Goldenrod. The Kitchissippi United Church is hosting its rummage sale on October 17th and 18th. That will be held at Kitchissippi United Church at 639 Island Park Drive. That's going to be held on October the 17th, which is the Friday, from 7 until 9 p.m. and on Saturday, October the 18th, from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. Great selection of jewelry, books, household goods, toys, and much more. I've got a phone number in the newsletter if you want to phone and ask them any questions. And then the Ottawa Friends of Tibet Festival is fundraising on October the 25th. You can join them at the First Unitarian Congregation of Ottawa at 30 Cleary Avenue from 3:30 until 7 p.m. for the taste of Tibetan food, the experience of Tibetan music and dance, cultural workshops, silent auction, and bazaar. I've got all of the details at a link that is in the newsletter. At City Hall, we continue to rise and grind every day. As I noted in last week's newsletter, the Finance and Corporate Services Committee is meeting. Really briefly, we'll get presentations on cybersecurity, do a relatively routine write-off of uncollectible debts, consider an expansion of the Centretown BIA's boundaries, consider some community improvement and brownfield grants, and consider renewing the lease for the Nepean Sailing Club. And as I mentioned last week, there is also going to be the proposal made for a strategy for Ottawa to attract and retain more family doctors. I've got some more information in my perspective in the newsletter. And then the Planning and Housing Committee is going to meet on October the 15th. Again, I spoke about this one last week. The only item on the agenda is a consideration of whether or not to leave the Taywin development in the urban boundary. There's lots of media around that one, lots of discussion, as I had figured there would be. Take a look in the newsletter for the full agenda, but really it is just a motion to take Taywin out of the urban boundary and for the City of Ottawa to undertake a better consultation with area Indigenous persons and nations. The Emergency Preparedness and Protective Services Committee is meeting on Thursday, October the 16th. I think they've got a very interesting agenda. The main substantial item on the agenda is proposed regulations that would see hardscapers licensed. So some of you may recall in the summer there was, I think probably a CTV story about some hardscaping, so some patio stones and some intricate work in a front yard that had to be ripped out because it was in the city right-of-way, and I think may have been an illegal driveway widening as well. In response, and something that staff have been looking at for quite some time, doing a municipal scan, the city is proposing to license hardscapers, so not landscapers, but folks who work in concrete and stone and that kind of more permanent material. You can read about that in the newsletter. We will receive responses to inquiries with respect to problematic properties and the pilot project that we've been holding on that. New security procedures at City Hall, as well as a review of driving school operating restrictions within city limits. The committee is also going to receive a report, the 2024 report for 911. Otherwise, in the newsletter, I have the latest wrap-up of all of the Rosemount Library programming. Lots of it. Take a look through there. I'm sure you'll find something that's interesting in all that extensive list of programming. Kitchissippi, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. I've got a couple of days off coming up now, and I want to say thank you for watching.